Hello ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, innies, outies and in-betweeners. Welcome back to another PAP Reports. Today is Thursday the 18th of February 2020 and today we're starting with the Metropolitan Police, who, among other things, have now been accused of breaking data protection laws. The police? Breaking laws?
I don't believe it.
The Met have a list which they call the Gangs Matrix. The aim of this matrix is to list the most violent offenders so police can target them. But the data and analytics used has caused problems and community scrutiny, including the fact that some of those listed on the matrix were not even involved in any gang violence. In 2018, the list was found to have overly targeted young black men in a report for the Lord Mayor of London, which said, "The representation of young black males on the matrix is disproportionate to their likelihood of criminality." Now, although the Met have removed hundreds of people from their list, apparently, some of those who were listed have sought legal advice and are considering suing the police. In 2018, the Information Commissioner's Office found that the Gangs Matrix was potentially breaking data protection laws and failed to distinguish between victims of crimes and offenders. In an embarrassing move for the Metropolitan Police, the ICO issued Britain's biggest force with formal enforcement notices to improve. The same year, it was revealed that more than 40% of young people on the Matrix list from Haringey, North London, were scored as posing zero risk of causing harm. Some were assessed as being much more likely to be victims than offenders. According to the Met, gang activity in London is almost a wholly male affair, with only 6 women and girls on the list. 97 people are aged 16 or under, while only 167 are over 30, with the vast majority being in the green category, which are those assessed to cause the least harm, whilst 144 in the highest harm category, red. The Metropolitan Police said over the last 15 months there has been significant external scrutiny of the gangs violence matrix. As well as an ICO review, Amnesty International have raised concerns about the use of the gangs violence matrix, and the Mayor's Office for Policing and Crime review of the gangs violence matrix was published in December 2018. We are now implementing a number of measures to make sure that we can comply with their requirements. The Equalities and Human Rights Commission said it was monitoring the situation. And it just goes to prove that police's main priority is intelligence gathering, regardless of whose intelligence they're actually gathering or for whatever reason they're gathering it. Funny then that when you do a subject access request, they're pretty good at holding back anything that will show them up, even though they are obligated to give all the information asked for. Inspector Iain Kane, based in Amersham, is to face a misconduct hearing this week over allegations so serious that he could be dismissed and lose his job. The offences happened between March the 7th and August the 6th last year, offences for which he is currently suspended for. The alleged offences were that he lied about the amount of money owed to him from a tuck shop at a police station, and making a false robbery report in order to claim from his insurance. Now I'll let that one sit with you for a few seconds to take it all in before I move on. "57-year-old Robert Veighey has been in court this week after admitting to attempt to pervert the course of justice. Robert, a former Police Scotland constable who turned court officer, tried to encourage someone to destroy a mobile phone with message evidence belonging to a woman accused of assault in an attempt to assist her avoiding prosecution. The woman in question, 26-year-old India Lockyer, admitted the assault, but Robert wanted to get her off by destroying evidence nonetheless. Robert's sentencing has been scheduled for March 23rd. Obviously, I'll follow up on that as and when more info is available. 38-year-old former police constable Paul Webster has pleaded guilty to dangerous driving and drink driving after being found to be twice the drink drive limit. Webster, who appeared at Teesside Court yesterday, where he made an admission of guilt after previously pleading not guilty in Magistrates Court in January. The 38-year-old from Billingham had been stopped by colleagues at Cleveland Police while on the exit slip road of the A66 westbound at Hartington Interchange in Middlesbrough, with 85 micrograms of alcohol in 100 millilitres of breath. Webster has been banned from driving in the interim until his sentencing, which will be held at Teesside Crown Court on March the 9th. Webster also resigned from the police on the 27th of January, no doubt in order to keep his pension and to be able to rejoin another force. I will, of course, keep updates on this when they become available. Now, thanks to Sir Jimmy Savile, a subscriber, not a voice from beyond the grave, for the next report. PC Luke Thomas, a Ministry of Defence police constable, paid 2 other police staff to join him in a gangbang with his friend's wife as his friend watched on. Edward Pleath, a barrister representing the Ministry of Defence, said, while a student on an MDP firearms course at the end of the day's lessons, PC Thomas and other officers travelled to a hotel in London where he consumed alcohol and engaged in sexual activity with another for payment. PC Thomas served a response dated September the 11th, 2019. So far as relevant, he stated that in June 2019 I was contacted by my friend called Mr. C. Mr. C was in London on a business trip and asked if I would be free to meet up with him and his wife, Miss D. PC Thomas was aware of Mr. C having a fantasy of watching another man or men have sex with Miss D. During their conversation arranging a meet in London, Mr. C mentioned his fantasy again. PC Thomas was paid £1,200 to his PayPal account for his part in the raunchy encounter, of which it seems he then paid £300 each to 2 other Ministry of Defence colleagues. Although he initially lied about being paid and then lied about the amount he was paid. At the MOD disciplinary hearing, it was recorded that Thomas would have been sacked if he had not already quit. Thanks to Durf Williams for the following report. David Boswell, a former mayor in Pembroke, was found guilty of historic sex offences against 2 girls under the age of 10 in 2018 and jailed for 18 years. But his portrait as a former mayor is still hanging in Pembroke Town Hall. Even after a complaint about the portrait by Councillor John Harvey, who had listened to concerns from residents of Pembroke. Pembroke councillors held a meeting to discuss the complaint, but 13 of the 15 members voted that the picture should stay on the wall but be turned to face the wall. I mean, that's going to do nothing other than pique people's interests as to what is on the picture. Due to the outcome of the meeting, Councillor Harvey immediately resigned from the town council. Speaking after the meeting, he said, "My resignation from Pembroke Town Council was by no means pre-planned." Following concerns expressed by residents just over a month ago, I emailed the town clerk, copied to all town councillors, expressing my view that the photograph of the former mayor should be taken down. I also pressed for an extraordinary meeting to be held in order that a decision would be made quickly on this matter, including myself. Only 2 town councillors supported this idea, with 5 needing to do so to allow the meeting to take place. As a consequence, the matter rolled on to the next meeting of the town council held on February the 13th. I attended last night's meeting of town council, convinced that common sense would prevail, that there would be a realisation that a grave error of judgment had been made and that the photograph would be removed out of empathy for and as a mark of respect to the survivors of his most heinous of crimes. In this respect, the current mayor, Councillor Gareth Jones, put forward a motion that the photograph be removed for the life of this council, and I tabled an amendment that it be kept down for a significantly longer period, 60 to 100 years, and that all images on the town council's Facebook page be removed. As the debate continued, it became clear that many of those councillors present were more concerned about the former mayor's place in history, as well as attacking the member of the public who initially raised this matter on social media. The inference being, how dare a member of the public raise a matter publicly? Next up, it was the turn of the press to be criticised for publishing the story and quoting the member of the public in the article. Councillor Nutting, once he had finished giving his little lecture, then put a counter-proposal that the photograph remain hanging but be turned around, with the former mayor's name displayed on the back. Following a recorded vote, this motion was approved, with only myself and Councillor Aidan Bryn voting against it, despite being given the assurance that there would be a vote on the original motion following the vote of Councillor Nutting's proposal. I was then told this could not happen. Whilst I will always respect a democratic vote on any issue, this decision of the overwhelming number of town councillors was not one I could subscribe to, given the clear strength of public opposition. I am not aware of any member of the public supporting the retention of the photograph in situ, either facing out or turned around. I am sure there are no pictures of Jimmy Savile facing the wall in Stoke Mandeville Hospital or Hitler hanging in the Reichstag. Members of the town council seem more concerned with history attacking a member of the public and attacking the freedom of the press than actually grasping the simple concept that the public don't want that photograph on the wall. Whilst they may claim that they represent the electorate, this decision, in my opinion, shows that they clearly do not. For the above reasons, and as a matter of principle, I tendered my resignation with immediate effect following the vote. I do not want to remain a part of a town council that does not represent the views of the electorate, shows no understanding of the importance of this matter to the public, and does not believe in press freedom. Isn't that all councils? I still remain as county councillor for the Pembroke St Mary North ward and will continue to serve the good folk of the ward to the best of my abilities. Now, I'm not at all surprised that town councillors are happy to protect the memory of a paedophile, to be honest, but that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, thank you to both Charles and Matt for sharing the link to the following story. 47-year-old Paul Earwaker, a former Kent police constable who now runs a prestige car hire company and hires out vehicles for weddings and other events, pleaded guilty to illegally disposing of waste, i.e. fly tipping, after being caught on a homeowner's CCTV dumping the entire vehicle's worth of rubbish on someone's driveway. Earwacker claims a rag and bone man told him to dump the rubbish there and he would pick it up later. Yeah, of course he did, mate. Earwacker of Maidstone, Kent said the rag and bone man that comes round to our close every week. He collects metal in his lorry and he took a fridge and fridge freezer of mine that was there. That's the address he told me to take it to. He told me to go down by the Indian restaurant and you'll see a little alleyway. If you put it on that little bit of land, he'll collect it from there and dispose of it. That bit of land looked like what he said. It didn't look like a house. I was set up. Calm as a bitch, isn't it? I wonder how many times you've heard that from people you've arrested, but, ignored them. I was set up. Earwacker, who runs Kent Prestige Cars, a Kent-based car hire company that claims to have provided cars for celebrities including Ollie Murs, Anthony Joshua, Sam Fairs and ex-EastEnders star Sean Williams. I thought he said celebrities. After pleading guilty to illegally depositing waste, he was handed a 12-month community order at Medway Magistrates Court on Thursday the 13th of February. He will also have to complete 80 hours of unpaid work, complete rehabilitation activities and pay costs of £1,310. I wonder what rehabilitation programme you have to take for dumping waste. It seems that those lessons learned as a police constable remain with them for the rest of their lives. You know what the ones that I mean? the you're untouchable lessons. Jeremy Burton, Surrey Police's Deputy Chief Constable, has retired from policing after 31 years. After it was found he had a case to answer for misconduct with another officer in the workplace. Now, the details of this misconduct have not been released, but have been described as tarnished the reputation of the force by Surrey Police and Crime Commissioner David Munro. Burton was only announced as the force's Deputy Chief Constable in May last year. Chief Constable Gavin Stevens said Burton had let himself, his colleagues and our communities down after it was announced he had quit the force and retired. In my view, Mr Burton's behaviour fell short of the standards that were expected of a police officer and as a chief officer, he said. This has been a difficult case and I am satisfied that this is a proportionate outcome, recognising the severity level and that Mr Burton will no longer be serving as a police officer, which brings an end to what has otherwise been a distinguished 31-year career. In taking our policing oath, we commit to uphold a code of ethics and high standards of professional behaviour in order to maintain public confidence in policing. The excellent work of our professional standards team and the IOPC has ensured that those that fail to behave appropriately in a workplace, regardless of rank, will be held to account in a fair way. I do not want this case to detract in any way from the excellent work done by officers, staff and volunteers across our country every single day. And although this was an internal matter and did not impact on the Surrey public, it is in no way representative of those working for the force. Surrey Police is an organisation with high standards, which offers rewarding careers for those committed to public service. Burton's retirement means that the findings of the misconduct hearing will now not be heard. The other officer involved received a final written warning after admitting 2 conduct matters at a private meeting held on Friday, February the 14th. Mr Burton's policing career began at the Met Police in 1988. He was appointed Assistant Chief Constable Specialist Crime Command for Sussex and Surrey in 2016. Now, I'm sure that the details of the case will come to light sooner or later. If I do find out, then I will, of course, let you know what this cretinous cretin has done. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. A big thank you if you were mentioned for sending me a link to an article. You know who you are. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and other officials.
Good night, all.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you like the content and you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so. In the description of every video there are some links to ways that you're able to help support the channel so I can continue putting out content. If you're unable to help us in that way, hit that subscribe button up the top there. If you haven't already, become a subscriber. That is support enough. Share the videos, comment, like, it all helps. If you're looking for something else to watch, up top there is my latest video. Down the bottom there is a video that YouTube recommends for you.